on Vincent, can you hear me? Everybody does model. Vincent, you can hear me, please. Let me hear from you. Mumbi is not getting the studio. Mumbi, I'm waiting for you. Mumbi, you're not getting the studio. Mumbi, you're not getting the studio. Mumbi, not getting the studio. And I've invited you. Yes. Vincent, can you hear me? Vincent, can you hear me? Vincent, can you hear me? Vincent? Vincent?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you, but
You can hear me, right?
I'm still working on my mic. Inakataa kufanya sijui kwa nini.
All right.
Yeah?
Continue working on it. Mumbi, where are you? Is Mumbi in the studio? Can't see you, Mumbi. Mumbi. Vincent, you're right.
Hello, guys, can you hear me? Hello, good evening, everyone.
I'm still working on my journey. Um,
Hello, good evening. At Peters, can you hear me? At Peters, can you hear me as I'm speaking? Hello, hello. At Peters, can you hear me?
Vincent, you're good now, right? Vincent, you're good now, right? Are you there, Vincent? Amazing. Yes. Wow. Technology. Yes, yes. Vincent, you now good, right? You hear me?
Can you hear me right now?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Good evening. Can you hear me at Peter's?
I can hear you. I can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So can I begin?
Just a minute. I add our miss, then we get started. Purity, where you at?
Okay,
Where
as
you at?
we had agreed, today we are going to. Okay, okay.
Just a minute. Just a minute. I bring in our guest, our other guest, Purity Mumbe, before we get started. We're getting started with you. Mm. Mumbe, where you at? Where you at? Please come in, come in. Mumbe, we're waiting for you. We getting Mumbe, Mumbe. And right, as we wait for Mumbe, this was model from Kenya, Africa. Where you, my guest? Where you, my guest? You're all gone. Where you, my Vincent, I can see you. Vincent, I can see you. Vincent,
Yeah.
You can hear me, right?
So I begin.
Yes, we can start it.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We can get started.
Your voice is fading off. I don't know why.
Now, can you hear me?
I don't know if. Yeah, I can hear you now. It's well.
Right. Fantastic. Awesome.
Let's go on.
Right. Before we get started, these speakers model from Kenya, Africa, founder outside university, outside university, education, inspiration, achieving dreams that can only be realized uh, on three different wellness perspectives: mental, physical,
So I can't get you well.
and spiritual health. So, for inspiring services that we offer, please me link on my bio. I'm currently your host, um, one of the mental health passion, passionate and passionate advocates, Mr. Vincent, former Mr. Mombasa, and also my missing guest. I hope she's joining us ASAP, Miss World Finance. And as we advocate before that nothing in this world is um, all things one can't that. So please, Mr. Vincent, may you may you uh, get the world before
Yes.
you talk about mental health? May you please may you maybe say something about yourself to the world?
Okay. I beg your pardon because as I'm trying to get to listen to you, there are some scratches. I don't know what's wrong with the network today. I beg your pardon.
Right. I'm saying before we get started with the topic today, may you please say something so that the world can hear who is speaking.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Vincent Mochama, the outgoing Mr. KMTC Mombasa and a World Mental Health Advocate. As we are speaking today, we are here to present to you a great approach to the mental health, and be ready to learn, guys. I know how to cope up with the mental situation, stress, and the physical daily activities that occur in the world, and how to cope up with your life, how to plan your duties, so that it may help you to have a good mental health. Not that everyone is at a good mental state, but we try to fix each and everything in each and day as we come in the world. As we sleep, we wake up in the morning, we get to plan our activities, our duties, all as we plan with our fellows, as we relate to one another, our co-workers, our friends, our family members, and all our relatives. So, guys, be ready to learn, and let us move together and advocate for good mental health and awareness. See you in as we start our episode. Thank you.
Uh, thank you, Mr. Vincent. Good to hear Mr. Vincent. According to you, Mr. Vincent, you're a World Health Advocate. Uh, in your own understanding, how do you get someone who is living in slum areas, like someone who is depressed?
I beg your pardon. May you repeat the question, please?
I'm saying in your own understanding, right? How would you make someone understand mental health? Actually, meaning how would you make are you still there?
How do I make someone? Yeah,
How
I'm
would
there. How do I make someone?
how would you make someone understand? Something that you personally that how would you make that
Like, I beg your pardon. I can't hear. Your voice is fading off after you saying, "How do you help someone?" From there, I can't get what you're saying.
can you hear me now?
Your voice is too low and too like it's yeah.
Are you there?
How do?
I'm saying
Yeah, I can
how
hear you well.
how to make someone understand mental health. Something that you personally that doesn't even affect mental health. How would you make that person understand um, mental health?
Okay, in accordance to my perspective, what I can say is that to an ordinary person is that mental health is the capacity of an individual to form harmonious relationships with others and to participate in or contribution consecutively changes in the social environment. Like how like huyu mtu atajirelate aje na wengine, ata create relationship yake aje na wengine so that a participate na a contribute consecutively to the changes of the social environment. Atajibeba aje, atarelate, atajilinganisha aje na wengine to the accordance to the current situation at the social environment yenye ako currently. Seme like you are in a party, how will you relate yourself with people who are in the party? Like, yes, you don't love partying, but you can't be there bored and not interacting with people. You're supposed to interact with others, be at the same level. So the thing is that how will you make yourself be there? So like it's the way you will carry yourself, relate, the things they do, and how you can carry them and participate too in the same event. Yeah.
So generally, it means someone should spend as much time present at any moment of their life. Vincent, you there? Vincent, you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. So
Go
I'm
on.
saying,
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there.
right. So uh, someone must time actively present, right? Can you hear me, Vincent? Wow.
Your voice is fading off. Your voice is fading off.
Okay. Now, can you hear me?
I Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
So I'm saying, like, therefore means someone should understand your perspective because right. I can't hear you.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Why can't you hear me?
I
Can you hear me? Listen.
it seems like I have a technical problem.
Me, I can hear you.
I beg your pardon, please.
Me, I can hear you very well.
Okay,
Why
may
can't
you
you?
repeat your question, please? I okay.
I can really
I
hear
beg
you.
your pardon. Can you repeat the question? Yeah, I can hear you now.
Right. I say like therefore it means that for someone to understand that a person must strive and think needs uh, when like
Yes.
still
May you try to raise up your voice, please? Raise up your voice. Your voice is too low. Chat box so that I can read it and then I'll be able to explain because for you, you can hear me well, and I believe to make the work easier. Can you write the question to the chat box? Please,
now. Can you hear me now?
the question at the chat box. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
At Peters. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes,
Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay, let me continue. Clinically significant behavioral psychological syndrome or pattern that occurs in an individual or disability or with a significantly increased risk of suffering death, pain, disability, or an important loss of freedom, and is not mere this is like from the internal or external environment, evidenced by thoughts, feelings of someone, like feelings and behaviors that are incongruent with our local or cultural norms and interfered with the individual's social, occupational, and or other physical functioning around the environment where the person or the guy is currently. And like mental health, maladaptive responses to stressors from the internal, external environment, evidenced by thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that the incongruent with the local and cultural norms and interfere with the individual's social, occupational, and physical functioning at a particular environment. Consequences of mental illness. This may lead to someone to develop a mental illness like poverty or poor human living conditions, human rights violation. Like someone has gone to court, he is expecting the case to be handled well, but there is violation of the rights, and then there is marginalization of the individuals, like grouping people at levels instead of grouping people at an equal level, not judging that this one is poor, medium class, all at higher class. No, like it needs to create a good background in people so that each and every person can see that we are at the same par for being and promoting the mental wellness of a person and relating well to one another. And then there's something like physical abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, loss of civil and political rights. Sometimes you can be violated because you don't you like your rights are being violated because like as you see the recent situation which was in Kenya, the time there was the maandamano against the bill, some the like some rights were violated against the citizens, which was not right because as per the constitution, you're supposed to protect someone who is demonstrating against his or her own right. You are not supposed to go against him in accordance with the constitution. But you see, the Kenyan government, they went against abducting people, killing people, like arresting people, which is not right. It's supposed to protect people against as they are demonstrating to help them get their rights. And then there are determinants of mental health, individual factors, like for example, ability to manage one's thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and interactions with others. When as human beings, when you know yourself well and understand about yourself, it can't be hard for you to manage your thoughts, your emotions, behaviors, and interactions. But for a person who has a mental health illness, like you find someone has messed up with you, all like they react very fast, which is not supposed to be the case. You're supposed to control yourself, your feelings. Even if someone has done something wrong to you, you control yourself so that you can't cause any harm to any person, or it cannot lead to something big like making you want to lose life or give a particular bond to you because he wronged against you and then you took an action that made you to regret more. So we're supposed to understand our thoughts, manage them, our emotions and behaviors as we are interacting with our friends, our family members, in our fellows, in different social, economical environments, and also in our workplaces. And then there are some external factors like social, cultural, economic, political, and environmental. And there are some critical analyses which have been done. People say that the people you find like the chokoras in the road, the mad people, know that they have a mental illness. No, each and every person has his own issues and mental illness. illness. So we should take them as people who are with us at the same level, with good health, and we work together with them to help them to. And then here comes a question: who is a mentally healthy person? Who is a mentally healthy person? At Peters, who is a mentally healthy person? This is a question I've raised to the group. Who is a mentally healthy person? For your own understanding.
My own perspective.
At
I hope you
Peters,
can
can
hear
you
me.
hear me?
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can. I can. It's go on.
Yes, so for me, a healthy person is he or she who is alive at any moment. Someone who can reason, someone generally who is rational at any moment is someone who is mentally stable, someone who is mentally upright, or who has the mental health fit. Can you hear me?
Okay, thank you for that. It's a good perspective. Okay, for my side, what I prepared for you guys is that who is a mentally healthy person? This is a person free from external conflict, not that at war with self, like external conflict, is free from everyone, like free can interact with anyone without any problem. Like it's someone accepts self and others well adjusted to and relates well to others, friends, family members, co-workers, like each and every person in the world is working, they work together, they can understand each other, and it's a person who has the ability to cope or tolerate with stress. I know each and every person has his or her own stressing all stressors. Like someone can wake up, oh, how can I get breakfast? How can I manage to work? Because sometimes you can find someone is working far away from home, or the workplace is far away from the living place. Like there are big stressors, like how can I get the school fees to pay for my kids? How can I get this and for my family to get satisfied? Like there are many things. And then someone with the ability to cope up with and to cope to form close and lasting relationships with others. Someone with the ability to form close and lasting relationships with others. And then uses sound judgment to make decisions. This is someone who is able to listen to someone, not by judging, by listening to him and then making the proper judgment, not judging against the situation or against the statement which a person has gave. Like one who understands the perspective of someone, the mental health and wellness of the person, and he or she can be able to make a good decision for him or her. Accept responsibilities for the actions which someone has made and has a good control over his or her own behavior. This is a mentally health person. Function effectively and independently. Like it doesn't need a big circle to make decisions for herself, to be around for him or her to make decisions. But he can be productive by his or her own self, able to perceive, imagine circumstances from the reality. He can perceive some. Like you can be given a scenario and then you create something like a picture in your mind which can create a perspective, imagine circumstance from a reality.
from a
Like
reality. Like
you can create
you can
something
create something
like you see
like
when we are
you
in
see
high school
when you are
picture
in high
which can
school
bring
and you
like
can be
a
able to
reality
create
to your
a
mind
picture which can
and get
bring
to
like a
understanding
reality
well.
to your mind
And
and get
someone
to understanding
who
well.
is able to
And someone
solve
who
problems
is
can
able
delay
to solve
such as for
problems can relate
identity,
and
has
searches for
strong sense of
identity, has
self-esteem,
strong sense of
recognizes
self-esteem,
limitations, abilities, and
recognizes limitations,
deficiencies.
abilities,
Like
and
it's someone who can be able to recognize his or her own limitations. Where am I limited? Where
I
am I
limited? Where
not
am I
on
not
well? Let me
on
work on
well?
my
Let me work on my
lower side, all
lower
my poor
side, all
side.
my poor
Let me
side.
work on my
Let me work on
weakness
my
so that I
weakness
can be
so that I
successful
can
in
be
my life,
successful in
in
my
my
life,
activities.
my
Some
activities.
and a person
Some
who
then
can
a
be
person
able
who
to
can be
strategize
able to
his or
strategize
herself
his all
well and
herself
knows
well
the
and knows
weakness and
the
the strong
weakness
parts
and the strong
so that
part
he can work on the
so that he
weakness.
can work on the weakness.
Mr. Vincent, can you hear me? Purity, can you mute your mic, please? Mute your mic. Thank you. Mr. Vincent, allow me to welcome our guest who has been missing. I hope you can hear me, Purity. Welcome to the studio, Purity. She's a former Miss World. She's a Miss World Kenya 2024 finalist. Welcome to the studio, Purity. Can you hear me? Purity, can you hear me? Purity, can you hear me? Wow, I don't know any network or something. Vincent, you can hear me, right?
Can hear
Vincent,
you.
you can hear me,
Go
right?
on.
You
Yeah,
can
I
hear me,
can
right?
hear you well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seems
right.
like
Go on. Yeah.
okay. Seems like Purity has a problem with the network. When she joins, we'll just let her in. For now, we can continue. And I have a question for you, Mr. Vincent.
Yeah, go on.
Why do you think people are still
Go
not
on, go on.
well versed? Why do you think people are still not versed with
Pardon?
mental health? I'm asking.
Okay. To my to my own perspective and research, I think this is because there is no good relation with the public creation of mental awareness about the mental health, and there is no good coordination like with the government to create public holidays for the mental health wellness, not creating the opportunity for the youth, for the millennium groups to create the awareness about the mental health. And we are supposed to cope with the artists, the most importantly, the famous people to create the awareness. Like the musicians, you can request, because of their feminism, you can request some advertisement about mental health, the teachings, like to create some awareness, like some classes, sometimes visit schools, colleges, universities to create this awareness to the people, the students, and all the groups so that and teach them on how to cope with their mental wellness on their daily relations with others, activities, and co-workers. Yeah. Are you answered?
Yes, yes. I think that's a good perspective. So, do you think it's something that people should take up the space? The government, the churches, the people with knowledge like you, and everyone in the society. Do you think it's a mandate that everyone takes up the space to create a mental health awareness concern?
Okay, my answer is yes. This is because each and every person should create some time for from the daily activities. He or she should create some time, like we can say, yeah, we have 24 hours in a day. Can create 8 hours for sleep, 8 hours for gathering with family members and all that, and then 8 hours for work, and then create some time which he or she can be able to reach some materials which talk about mental health, some videos or some mental health advocates, so that you can get some advice about mental health and the well-being on relations to others, the work he or she doing, or even school, or at college, or at searching for work. And in the current situation of the country and the living daily of the people, he or she should create some time, at least twice or thrice a week. He can get some teaching about mental health, on how to cope with each and daily life situations and activities, and on how to relate with others.
All right. Allow me to welcome to the studio Purity Mombi. Purity, I hope you can hear me now. If you can hear me, please, may you get the world to hear you talk. Let the world know about Purity.
Hello, Purity.
Purity, we're waiting for you. We've been really, really waiting for you. So let the world hear you.
My mic keeps on. Okay, thank you. My mic keeps on unmuting. My name is Purity. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, though there's some little background noise. I don't know. Uh, the challenge of live
I
broadcasting.
don't
You
know.
know, you can't fix some live technical errors. Where have you gone to, Purity?
I don't know what's happening with my phone and the name, but you guys, sorry for that. My my name is Purity Mumbe Munyasia. I am born and raised in Mombasa, but I am a Kamba. I hail from Kitui, Mwingi. I am a model. I'm a mental advocate. I am also an environmental sustainability champion. I am a recent graduate from Nairobi Technical Training Institute and studied environmental science and technology. And thank you so much, guys, for having me. And I'm sorry for the noises. I hope you can bear with me with that on that segment. Okay, back to you, people.
I hope you fix the noise so that we can clearly hear you and also get to reach the
Great,
world clearly.
great.
Can you hear me, Vincent? Vincent, you can hear me, right? All right. To
Yeah,
Purity.
yeah, it's I can hear you.
Pretty, this mental health is a global issue and it's really affecting so many people. And it's so unfortunate that most people don't even realize it until it's very late, right? So, in few words, how, in your understanding, how do you make someone understand mental health? Someone who is not aware of this thing we're talking about right now. How do you make him or her understand mental health?
Um, I think you again. For me, how I would explain mental health is the state in which mental well-being enables people to cope up with the stresses in life. I think for me, I usually combine physical, mental, and emotional well-being. I think these are things that really marry each other, and I think that's the simplest way I would define mental health. And yeah.
Still getting a lot of background noise. I hope it just will set. It will set. So, Mr. Vincent, um, according to you, now that people don't know the types of different types of mental health, how would you explain to someone that this one is this type of mental health, this one is this type of mental health issue? How would you differentiate these mental health uh, states? Sir Vincent, are we there? Mr. Vincent? Wow, I think he has network issues. To Purity, why do you think people still not understanding this topic we're talking about right now? People are not well versed with the mental health, and it's something that really is consuming a lot of people, and still yet people are not versed with the mental health. What's happening? Is it our own problem? Is it the government's problem? Or what's happening?
Well, I think I'll say, for me, I say mental health is sort of a disease and a virus that it's a disease and a virus that continues to spread. And I think it's not just a government problem, it's all our problem. And I think things that has led to mental illness not being very well vast to a lot of people. I think one thing is ignorance, and also poor leadership in our country, especially the government, because they are the key people who should make mental health and illness become a priority in our country and also in our community and the world. Another thing is lack of education and awareness. I think a lot of people don't know mental illness really is a disease. I think when someone says, I have a mental illness problem or a mental problem, people say, you're going crazy, which is really sad. And it's so sad that our communities, especially the marginalized community, people don't really know what mental health really is. And the next, I think I'll say, it is the stigma and discrimination that comes along with mental illness. I think because a lot of people that are experiencing mental illness, they are very shy. They don't want to say and they don't want to say that they're experiencing mental health issues, and because of discrimination and also stigmatization that is in our country, in our community, and also the world. So I think people keep it to themselves because of judgment. They have fear of judgment in, you know, with their families or even their friends, their close friends and close families, and also the community at large. So I think it's a problem that we all need to work on, and it's a problem that, you know, we need to treat it now because it continues to spread, and truly it's sad how our country and the world, we are not prioritizing mental health and illness.
That's some good
Yeah,
insight.
I think.
Uh, that's some really great insight. Um, so generally, it's not everyone's responsibility to ensure that the world is safe, the community is safe, and ourselves we are safe from this global business. Um, so, what do you think are some of the strategies that we can use to ensure that people get information pertaining to mental health and reduce the things like ignorance, things like lack of education, so many things that are leading to people not knowing about mental health. So, what are some of the strategies that us, the world, the community, the churches, and people can apply so that we can reach to as many people as possible pertaining to this?
Well, that's really is a beautiful question. Well, I think one thing is we live in a world of technology. Right now, we live in a world of technology. Even a kid who is 2 years old or she's 2 years old, she or he is well conversed with technology. I think using our social media platform it will be very insightful, and it will also reach a lot of audience and a lot of people all over the world. And the next thing, I think, having the mental health allocated into our education system, I think it will be very wise for our government institutions and our leaders in education system to really know how to put the mental health education system into the normal education system, so that the kids even below the age of 10, for them to be taught what mental health issues is, because this is something that affects everyone. It affects kids, it affects adults, it affects the old people, it affects every range of the age of the people. And also, I think something else is having more conversation. And apart from conversation, it's really important for us to act on what we talk, because I think a lot of people, we talk a lot but we forget to act on things. I think we need to be ambassadors, and at the same time we need to create wellness, we need to create awareness about mental health. But I also think it's very important for us to start acting now, for us to have a sort of a movement that gives the people who are facing mental health illness and issues, to give them a safe space for them to, bring themselves and say, hey, I'm really struggling and I really need help. I think it's very important that we provide a good space and a safe space for them to feel secure enough, for them to feel secure enough to seek guidance and to seek help to seek more, health issues, for it to be um, known. And also, I think those are the things which are very important for us to, to measure into putting the mental health into our education system, using our social media platform, having more conversation, and more putting actions into it, because I believe, and also having more facilities, having more mental health facilities, hospitals, the wards, and everything. I think that is something that we need to start on. Having conversation is very important, but also we need to act on them.
All right, all right, right. I love the knowledge speaking. world kind of at the moment. I also think that it's time the government, individuals, churches, and everyone come together to create awareness. Let's talk about this disease, like we call it. It's a disease. The churches, the community, or rather everywhere. Let's have this conversation going because I think that
Yeah.
people take mental health like something that is normal until it catches up with themselves, their relatives, or even their friends. It's when they realize that these are serious issues, right? And most people don't know that they are being affected by this stuff. So this brings me to another question. Do you think everyone is battling with the mental health all over the world? Everyone, but
Well, I think what you first said earlier, that people don't really know about mental health until their family, one of the family members, or until their close friends, now they start noticing what mental health really is. But I think it's not just people don't know what mental health really is. It's more of ignorance. People know what really goes on,
Nzuri.
in our society, but people choose not to focus on on the things that
Okay,
really
guys, can you
happening,
hear
the things
me? I
that
have
really
some
matters.
technical problem
On your
about
Back
the
to your
network.
question is, I
I don't know
believe,
what's going on in Samburu.
1 out of 5, I believe 1 out of 5 people in our country is facing mental health. And mental health really is very diverse. And it's really very diverse, and everyone faces mental health in different stages of their lives. Some mothers, we have mothers who are expecting, and then after they give birth, they find having mental health issues. That is another type of mental health. But I think we all have our time that we experience mental health. It doesn't have to be very severe. It doesn't have to be very severe for it to be a mental health issues, because we live in a world that is not perfect. We have a lot of issues. Some people are facing unemployment, and some people face unemployment, something that drought. A lot, 3/4 of our counties are experiencing drought. That is something that also cause mental health. So I think a lot of us experience mental health, but we don't know. I think we don't know if we are experiencing mental health. So I think it's something that we really need to talk more about it, for people to realize that, what they're experiencing really is mental health. They really need you know work. We really need to work as a nation and as a community, and also as young people and as models, because we have platforms that we get to talk about important stuff. And I believe that, this is one of the platforms that we get to talk about, issues like mental health. And I think we really need to, just spread the awareness, and for people not to take things lightly. And so I think, I just think, I believe, you know we all face mental health issues, but it's very different. It's on a different level for each and everyone. Very different level. So I think, yeah.
yes, yes,
What do you
I'd
think?
say, yeah, I think that's right because we all have dreams, we all have purposes, and we all have things in place on the daily, and it differs. It differs. The dream purposes differs. So if everyone got that kind of things, you have to deal with different monsters, different things, to be able to achieve what you're dreaming, right? Yes, so you've talked of conversation, having conversation, having this one, getting an awareness. So I believe that this space creates a very safe place for everyone to join, share their stories, share experiences, how we can, together curb the mental health issue. And it's really, really sad that this thing is still consuming so many people before our faces, and silent. And trust me, youth, in the next few years, if people don't talk about this mental health issue, so many people are going to be consuming because right now we have so much happening in the country. We have life is getting uh, so much is happening. People might get laid off next year. People might be jobless next year. So much, just so much. So I believe that this is the space where people can speak, where we can help on mental health and some of the root causes of this global disease, how we can continue up, reduce. So this gets me to something else about causes of mental. What do you think are some of the causes? Root causes of
Well, I didn't get you the last question. I didn't get you clearly, kindly.
all right.
I,
What do you
I,
think?
I didn't get the question.
Oh, the question. The question is, what do you think are
The
the
question.
what do you think are the root causes of this global peace? Some of the causes of this global peace. What do you think could lead mental health?
Okay, I didn't get the question. Is the question the global root cause of mental health?
Yes, yes. I'm saying, what do you think are the root causes of mental health? The root causes of mental health.
Okay. Well, I think the root cause of mental health is because we have one. I say job and employment, because right now, a lot of us, especially the Gen Z, we don't have job. We don't have the job opportunities. So that really, affects our mindset. Affects our mindset. And the other thing I think is marriages, because a lot of us, not a lot of us, a lot of people are in marriages, and the marriage is very abusive. So a lot of people are in abusive marriages, and that causes mental health issues. And we also have, as I said, unemployment. There's also self-judgment. I came to realize, especially being in the field of modeling, the pageantry part of which you get to self-judge yourself, you get to compare yourself with other people. That really affects how you think, that really affects how you feel about yourself, and really affects the mental state of a lot of people. And also, something else is loss. A lot of people get affected in mental health issues when they lose someone. Maybe when you lose a child, when you lose a close friend of yours, when you lose a parent, when you lose a relative, it really affects, it really does affect our minds. And something else is violence. Violence, when someone experience violence out, whether it's in the house or out of the house, because we have a lot of people that have childhood trauma from the violence, from the violence that they experienced in their household while they were young. And that is something, because they didn't get help, they didn't seek help, that is something that follows them even to their adulthood. So I think we have a lot of issues. Something else is social media. I think we live in the world of social media that people don't have limits. People don't really have limit, and people don't have chills nowadays. And so, you post something out of the goodness of your will, and then you get trolled and you get a lot of bashes. And so that is something that, a lot of trolls and a lot of bashes, those are things that really affects, your mood, and affects everything about your day-to-day life. And you find yourself, just being lonely. You find yourself being, being not able to talk about these things. I think we have a lot of things that affect us, whether it's drought, whether it's climate change. It also affects how we feel, and also sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is something that I think we don't talk about because it has led to a lot of people having mental health and issues. And I will say for the ladies, but also a lot of I feel that we need to talk more. Men need to talk more. I feel men really need to talk more. I think we are past the generation of men don't talk. Men can't talk. Men can't, have, their emotions. I think we need to really create safe space. As much as we have created the safe space for women, we also need to create a safe space for men, for them to talk and for them to be provided the services that remember one of the I recently went, I don't know, it was 2 months ago. I went to um what is it called, a jail, the prison. We went to a prison, and they were showcasing their talent, and the theme was mental health. And I felt really sad that the men behind bars, they were talking about mental health, which was good, but they were focusing more on women, which is good. But I think, for me, I felt like it was an opportunity and a space for them to, talk about the things that they face, talk about the things that they are facing, talk about the things that they're struggling with. And I think men need to start talking, and obviously it has to, start with, you men being given a safe space for you guys to talk about what you're struggling with, not being judged. You need to talk but not be judged. And I think we need, a good environment for, and a conducive environment for us all to thrive, and to have as much limited as mental health victims. And I think that would be really good. Unlimited. I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
That is my take on it.
Right.
All right. I think also
Right.
knowledge,
I think
information,
also knowledge, information,
information is really key, and so
information
many
is
people are
really
ignorant
key,
and
and so many
frustrated,
people are ignorant, frustrated,
and I believe that the first
and I believe that
mental
it's
health.
the first mental.
So many people are not knowledgeable, and
So many
once
people are
you
not
don't
knowledgeable,
know,
and
you're going to
once you
face a
don't
lot of
know,
challenges.
you're going to face a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
You know?
So also,
Yeah.
I don't know the objective, but
I don't know
they
the
have to
object,
get
but
informed
they
early.
have to get involved.
It's the root cause of mental
It's
health.
the
Once
root
you don't know
cause
how
of
to handle
mental
a
health.
situation,
Once you don't know how to
you
handle
lose
a situation,
yourself. Once
you
you lose
lose
yourself,
yourself.
you no longer
Once you lose yourself,
well
no longer
compassionate,
well
reasonable
passionate,
to start
reasonable, that
just like stated,
just like
health then
stated,
would be trauma.
health
I
then
can,
would be trauma.
I can recall the time when
I
I was in prison
can recall the time when I was in
2007,
prison
just finishing my college
2007, just finishing
prison was the first
I can't hear you. Sorry, I can't hear you.
so
now can you hear me?
now can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So some echo. Yeah, I now believe you can hear
Some
me, right?
people, yeah, I now believe you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm saying I've stated that
Yes, so I'm
information is
saying
really key.
I've stated that information is really key.
There's some echo, Sujini, from your end. Can you
There's some
are
echo
you
streaming from your end. Can you are you
I can hear you well.
oh you can hear me right? Right.
oh you can hear me
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Right. I'm saying that
Right.
just like I've stated,
right?
information is really lacking with people. Childhood trauma, uh, the environment itself is really a big problem for many people, and for the for one to be someone out of a very wanting environment, it takes a lot. So these are some of the things that really forces me daily to be talking about information, people being informed. And people being informed doesn't mean just informing your mind alone. I think it's informing your soul, informing your spirit, and informing your mind. Because with mental wellness or with wellness, you have to be rational at any point you're alive. You have to be very reasonable at any moment you're alive. So all these will trickle down to how you balance your your mind, how you balance your spirit, how you balance your soul. So would you agree with me, or maybe have something like brain fog as one of the root causes of this global business? The brain, where there's no clarity in mind, and when there is no clarity, there is no clear vision with someone. So would you say brain fog is another cause of this problem? Can you hear me? Purity, can you hear me? You have a problem, son? Purity, you can hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Purity? Purity, can you hear me? Unmute your mic. Can you hear me, Purity? Purity, can you hear me? Okay, Vincent, it's like the network of our guest lady is really wanting. So if you are in and you can hear me, Vincent, are you there? Vincent,
Yes, I
Vincent,
can hear you.
right? Um, you went. I
Go
don't know.
on.
It's your network or something. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
All right. We almost winding. So from your
Network. It's the
side,
network. In Samburu, I don't know.
or it's the network. So we were discussing some of the root causes of mental
From
health.
my
What what would you say are some of the root causes? What lead to someone being mentally unwell, or what really lead to someone having an anxiety? Even if we've not defined anxiety, what what makes someone not to be well?
Okay, for my side, the causes of mental illness. For my side, for number one, I can say sexual abuse. This one occurs from while if someone is sexually harassed, like it can be an elder or a child who has been harassed sexually. And then there is poverty, like someone who is struggling on to get daily living, like food, in getting their basic needs. And then violation of the human rights, where one cannot get his or her rights as it concepted to the human constitution. And the other thing is physical abuse. Like sometimes you find out, like you remember, I can relate while we are starting school at the lower classes, like in PP1, PP2, sometimes you can have like you can do something which your friends will leave to say that I want to relate to you because of this and this. How they separate, they don't want to play together with you, like because of certain disabilities, like you one of your arm is not complete, your one of your leg, or you are mono-eyed, something like that, like physical abuse. Again, laws of civil and political rights, like you see in the current situation in Kenya, like the our impeached vice president, he lost his political rights and civil rights. This, if it was followed as according to the constitution, he could have get the rights as it's supposed to be. And again, the other thing is poor inhuman living conditions, and then higher rates of mortality and disability. Like someone who's close to you, who gives, like someone who's ready for you when you are in problems, someone who can get a mental illness which is not easy to recover. But as time goes by, creating good relationships with others, opening up to others, and getting advice from mental advocates, counselors, it can promote your mental health. Again, there are social factors, cultural factors, economic factors, and environmental factors. Yeah.
What are these cultural factors that can affect someone? What do you think are these cultural factors that can affect someone that much to be mentally unwell?
Okay, to the cultural factors, this is like you see the FGM, where like it's not the in accordance to the Bill of Rights. FGM was removed the, like it was cancelled away, and it should fade off from the communities. Like you find someone like, for the ladies, you find she's knowledgeable enough, and then her mother forces her for the FGM, which, like, she doesn't want to go for FGM, but for her mother wants her to go for the FGM. Like this thing, because she has not agreed with her mother, it causes some illness, stress. Like she feels like she's not wanted within the community or within the family members, like that. Like she feels like she doesn't have the opportunity to express her own self the way she feels about the FGM. And other cultural factors like early marriages, or sometimes someone doesn't want to marry or to get married off, and then the parents or the community members are forcing to be her or him to marry or to be married off.
Right. Um, do you think churches are in the mix uh, in causing or in propelling mental health issues in society?
Okay, I can say yes. For me, being a Catholic, I know for the Catholic, they go for the natural family planning. And then sometimes you can find someone doesn't want to use the natural family planning because he or she is not conversant on how it works. And now she is opting to go for the artificial one, like for the implants, all the property, all the like the artificial family planning. So like sometimes you find out there is the misunderstanding between the husband and the wife on how planning about their family planning and spacing of their kids. Like the wife opts for the artificial while the husband says no, our religion doesn't allow that. So you can see the factor of religion has come in because the husband opts more for the religion and now he doesn't allow the wife to go for the artificial. Now the wife feels psychologically tortured and like she feels that no, like she doesn't have space to express herself and how she feels about the family planning or something else. Or sometimes she wants to go for a wedding or the husband doesn't refuse or they have been cancelled from the church, something like that.
All right, all right. So to deal with mental health issues all over the world, it means that we have to look into the root causes of the mental health, right? Because every situation, every disease, everything, just like
Yeah,
mental health. Mental health is a disease, and something that is a disease can have its cure, right?
but pardon,
Something that is a disease must have its
pardon.
source of cure. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can go on.
Yes, I'm saying that it means that mental health is a disease just like any other disease, and most diseases, not most, but all diseases have cures, right?
Yeah, right.
It means that if we know the root causes of the mental health, we can cure this global beast, right?
Yeah, we can.
So the problem now lies in the root causes of mental health. So we have to know the root causes of mental health for us to be able to cure this mental health issue once and
Yeah,
for all.
yeah, exactly.
So therefore, we need to stress about root causes of mental health before we get to knowing some of the long-term solutions to this global beast.
Yeah,
All right.
we
So it
supposed.
means that all right. It means that we have to focus. Our focus should be on the root causes of mental health. That I think as mental health advocates and mental health champions, we should really talk about this. Maybe in our next episode, we really stress the root causes. We stress on root causes of mental health before going into giving recommendations or solutions for mental health issues.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. This topic we had many issues, but at least we've rectified a few. And I really appreciate you for taking your time to be in the studio with me today. And before I release you or before we finish up, what would you tell someone with mental health, maybe in 3 words?
Okay, for my side, I am humbled for you be for your host for you being my host. You have hosted me. We have carried out the teaching about the mental health, and we are ready to advocate for it. And I'm ready to anytime, any day, and even if I'm anywhere. The only thing is to plan and hoping our next episode is soon as possible so that we can touch on the main things and come up with solutions how we can help people to cope up with these mental health issues. In accordance to your question, what I can tell a person with mental health in 3 words is that your mind, your relationship, and your activities matters a lot. Mind, relationship, activities, those are the main things you should focus on so that you can have a good mental health without any
Wow, I think we've lost him. Then, Pretty, you're there. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Unmute your mic. Your mic is mute. Unmute your mic. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Muted. Unmute your mic. I can see it over here for screen. You've not unmuted. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Unmute it. Yes, now it's unmute.
Can you hear me?
Can you? Yes, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
All right, we almost winding up, and before we wind up, thank you for joining. However much you had technical errors, and it's normal with a live podcast. Sometimes network like be really a problem, but I'm glad you joined. We taught the world about mental health. Before we finish up, maybe we can wrap it up, or we can have a recap of what we've discussed. Uh, some of the strategies that we need to put um, in play to ensure that the world is educated pertaining to mental health, um, and knowing that everyone and every individual has a purpose. So we all have things we go through, and also maybe having conversation, having a safer place for everyone to share their stories and to talk about uh, this mental health as a disease that is affecting so many people. Before I release you again, what would you tell someone? Maybe you've just met someone and they ask you, um, tell me something about mental health. 3 words. Just 3 words so that I can know what health is. Please, may you teach the world.
Telling someone something about mental health.
Yes, yes. What would you tell someone? Maybe in 3 words, you've met some ordinary person who is not versed with mental health. She or he asks you, uh, tell me something about mental health in maybe 3 words so that I can know. What should you tell them?
Well, I'll tell a person who is not well conversed with mental health is that mental health is a disease. First thing, mental health is a disease. And also, mental health is something that the causes of mental health are very wide. It can be, childhood trauma. It can be marriages. It can be our environmental factors, and also that, you know, don't judge someone. Don't judge a book by its cover. Me, I usually say don't judge someone because you don't know what an individual has been through. You don't know what someone has been through, and just spread love. Yeah.
That's really
and
amazing.
and, and something. in something, adding on that, in something that I would tell someone that is experiencing mental health is that, because is that I will tell someone that you are loved. I'll also tell someone that you are seen. I will tell someone that you are beautiful, and so, and also you're not alone. And believe in God.
Wow, my guest has left me. Right, we wind it up. Before I leave, we today we discussed about basic understanding of mental health. Um, as we all know, that mental health is a global problem. It's a global disease that is really affecting so many people all over the world. And if we don't approach it in a very inclusive way and in a way that we see it from a different perspective and perspective whereby a perspective whereby we can approach it using the long-term remedies, it will still really affect so many people, and we don't want that to happen because we mental health champions, um, we mental health champions, and we mental health advocates. We won't really want that to happen. We want to save the world. We want to heal the world, and we want to know to help the world understand that mental health is a disease that can be reversed and can be treated. It's just like any other disease that can be treated. And it's with that we take up the space to teach the world, to impact the world with the information so that they can really know, and everyone can really know that they can get out of any dark situation or any depressing situation. Therefore, it means that we have to focus on root causes of mental health before we approach it using the long-term remedies to this global beast. So in our next episode, before I leave, in our next episode, we're looking into root causes of mental health. We want to really know what are the root causes of this mental health and how can we help the world understand that these are the root causes of mental health and what can we do to ensure that we deal with them once and for all. Till in our next episode, I'm your host, Because Model from Kenya, Africa, the founder at the Outside University for services and products we offer on the Outside University. Please check with me the link on my bio. Till next time, I say we outside and ready to heal the world. Bye bye.